Today I have something very interesting that I looked at last time and I really thought we need to talk about it because usually the client needs help and they reach out to you when they only and only need help. Usually they want you to do it for them and you ask yourself, where should I start from? So I want us to deal with this particular scenario. How to deal with messy books. You go for an audit or someone needs to do their taxes, but you find out their books is a mess. What are you going to do as a professional at that point? Or an accountant who has just been hired in a small business, a startup business, and you find no records, everything is a mess. What are you going to do? Let's see. I usually advise you to assess the mess first. And the reason I want you to do the assessment, the diagnosis first, is to know the weight of the load you're going to carry, to know what it will take you to get to the destination that you intend to. Again, in doing this, you're going to first of all find out which years or periods are affected. You ask them, how long have you been operating? Oh, how long have you had this kind of a situation? Then they will tell you. It helps you to know. Number 2, ask, do you use cash or accrual basis? Why that question? It puts you back to the step of knowing, if it is cash, hope it comes in and trips. But if it's accrual, I have to look for areas, I have to look for advances. So it gives you that kind of a view. Then ask them, do you have any software in place? And that question, they usually say, we have one, but we don't use it. Or, we intend to get one soon. That simply says, nothing is organized. That is the answer to that question, based on whatever they tell you. As long as they don't say, yes, we have, and it's active, the quick answer in your brain should be, everything is not organized at all. It's a mess anyway. So ask them, do you have any missing or incorrect data? That helps you to know whether you have to dig down to find out something. If not, just know you have to deal with whatever is on your table. Then, number 2 should do is to gather all the sources of information, all the documents. Just ask for source documents. For example, if you find someone who has these receipts issued out in a certain way, or receipts received, just ask him or her in this way. Can I have the receipt book? Because you're going to even see the receipts that were issued or not issued. Or if there were purchases and everything, or ask them, can I have a payment voucher, or can I have a purchase book, a purchase order book? Like, try to ask for that information, because chances are high whatever they tell you may be missing, or something might be missing. So ask for sources. Ask for these loan statements if they have loans. Ask for credit card statements. Ask for payroll records, and they usually have challenges with the payroll. Ask if they have been filing for taxes appropriately for the payroll. Ask for the asset register, because they are not going to have this. I'm telling you, most of the times if you're dealing with someone messy, they don't have this information. But what they have is they know this in their heads. They know which machine they bought when. So try to capture data in every story. In every statement someone does, just capture what is meaningful to you. Try to take note, because they'll just talk about it and they'll expect you to produce the best results. So the best way to handle this, capture as you speak. Have a conversation as you take records. Number 3, reconcile banks and credit cards. Now, after giving you the information, try to reconcile from where they stopped. Do not even build on anything here at the moment, unless it is so like the company has been in existence, so it's a very big time span. But if not, 1 to 3 years, please go from the scratch. There you will have confidence in balances and everything. Just put your cut-off period and say, okay, I'm going to start from 2022 going forward, or I'm going to start from 2024, depending on how messy the situation is. So from there, the first thing you should fix is the income. Usually fix income first. Why? This income will tell you how this thing moves before they spend, because expenses can be too much. Sometimes can come from out of the pocket of the owner. We shall deal with that at some point. But fix the income first. Look at the revenue. Okay, what are these sales invoices or receipts? Did we earn ABCD, blah blah? So how did it go? How did it come in even? How did we get this money? Through the bank. Okay, bank statement, track through that. How did we even spend this money? Then it will come to the expenses, especially if that person does not spend at source. But most of the times, whoever is messy, still they spend at source. So you cannot spend accordingly and you keep being messy. So by the time you see those two, just know they spend at source. So that's why I tell you to track revenue first, because it is usually even revenue streams are usually not as broad as expense streams. So when you start with the revenue, it helps you to accelerate better to expenses. If you start with the expenses, you're likely to be overwhelmed by the mess and you're likely to give up on this client, you know. So let's try to start from the revenue. Then try to clean up the expenses. After now knowing the revenue, try to ask for these classifications that have been misposted or not even recorded anywhere. Try to look at the meals that have been spent. Try to allocate shared expenses if there is allocation or appropriation. For example, two organizations in one building and they share with another person. So you have to see, is there any shared kind of expense? That is something that is gonna help you at some point. Then step 6, you got to review the payroll and contractors. Payroll is very interesting. That if someone is messy, probably they'll be recording in the book they pay and they record in the book. So you have to track whether they have done the filings, especially for taxes. I've seen when it comes to the benefits of the employee, usually messy employers, they will just deal with the revenue authority. They will just pay the tax to the revenue authority, but they may not. Most of the times they do not do the contributions for NSSF or Social Security for the employees. That's where your interest should be. That's why I want you to look at that, because they may say, okay, we paid them cash, maybe net pay. Then ask yourself, what is the gross pay? What happened to the deductions? How did they, how did you even submit this money? Try to ask for the contractors. Do you have some people who are contractors that do not, work with you directly as an employee, but you pay them? Try to look at that. For example, is there some sort of withholding tax? If yes, was it even withheld? If yes, was it even remitted? So look at that. Then start thinking about fixing now the balance sheet. After doing all that, the balance sheet will be easier for you to see, oh, so this money was undeposited, oh, this account is still receivable or payables, oh, there are some loans that are pending, oh, the payroll is not clear, there is a payroll liability. It is easier when you start the other side, coming this way. We are talking about someone messy and we have to deal with this person. We want to help them anyway. So do recommendations, give them a recommendation, like try to advise them. Usually most clients are very expensive clients. If you're going to deal with them, expensive in terms of time, so try to give them a recommendation for software depending on what you've seen, what should they do better to make their business better. Of course, you're going to review and normalize financials. You're going to look at the tax returns, look at the bank activity. You're going to look at the unusual fluctuations that have happened. You're going to also look at the comparison of profit and loss statements, maybe for prior year and this year. The intention here is to normalize, to know how does this business look like in a normal circumstance, like in a normal way. How would it be? How should this business have been? Thank you so much. CPA Jovia Nakaima, Jovima Digital Consultants.